If you live in Zone 3 in May, you're not gardening right now, you're gambling. But here's the good news. May is a great month to plant stuff that actually thrives here. In this video, we're digging into what seeds you should be starting in May in Zone 3, inside and outside, whether it's chilly or finally warming up. And more importantly, I'll tell you what to avoid planting right now, unless you want to watch it die in cold soil. If you've ever felt confused of what to start when, especially in places like Winnipeg or Regina, and believe me, it gets confusing every year here. Here in Winnipeg this morning, -9. On Sunday, in a few days, it's going to be +29. 40 degrees of difference. I just thought I'd show you one of my fails. This got too big for indoors. This is a marigold. And as it got real cold last night, she's dead. So if you live in a place that has late springs and surprise frosts, this video is for you. So let's get started. Well, we're back indoors, so I'll run you through some of the stuff that you can start right now. Here's the thing that most beginner gardeners don't realize. May isn't too late to start stuff inside, especially if the soil outside is still pretty cold. Start these indoors, and by the time June's here, you should be way ahead. Stuff like zucchini and summer squash. This stuff germinates fast, but it also hates having cold roots. You want it growing indoors so you can hit the ground running when you go outside. I would also add to this list pumpkins. Yes, you could direct sow them in June, but some of these take over 100 days to grow, which means I'm cutting it close. I want some pumpkins for Halloween. In fact, I'll show you what I grew last year. This is the one pumpkin I managed to grow last year. Small. It's about the size of my brain. You'll also want to get your cucumbers going. These are not cold hardy at all. Starting them May indoors is really an option. I do it just to feel like I'm getting ahead, but these grow pretty quick when you do direct sow them as well. And this is something new for me this year, but I'm going to be starting my melons soon. This is a musk melon. It's a sugar cube from T&T Seeds. We'll see how these go. They are pretty risky in Zone 3, but I've seen people do it with great success. So start these indoors now and only grow these if you fancy a challenge, like I do. And just keep in mind that these plants hate being root bound, and a lot of these grow pretty quick. Don't leave them in trays for all that long. Make sure to put them in bigger pots as soon as they need it. Give them space and get them in the ground as quick as you can, as quick as you safely can anyway. Wait until it warms up outside. And as I said, we're going to cover some of the stuff that you can start outdoors right now. I mean, this is what we're itching to do right now. Actually planting stuff in the garden. But before you start putting seeds in, let's figure out if it's time yet. Is the soil workable? And most nights, is it above freezing? If it is, you're good to go with these. And here's what can handle going in the ground right now. Peas for one. You can plant these as soon as the soil is workable and the snow isn't going to hurt them. You could also do your spinach and lettuce. They quite like the cold, although I do start mine inside. In hot weather, they will bolt and get bitter, so this is your time to enjoy them, and sow them every couple weeks for a steady harvest. You could also do radishes, and you'll have these in less than a month sometimes. These do not take long to grow at all. You could start your carrots now as well, because their germination takes a little while. Just keep that soil damp. You could also do beets right now in May in Zone 3. They're easy to grow, and if you like them, go for them. I don't like them, so I'm actually not doing them this year. And believe it or not, I actually start potatoes in May as well. I usually do it 2 weeks before my last frost date, so that when all risk of frost is past, they are finally coming out of the ground. Of course, potatoes not being a seed, you plant a potato. I do it in these fabric pots, and what I like about these, this is a 15-gallon pot, is I can roll down the edges and just gently hill them up as the potatoes are growing. You could also do some mustard greens right now, some pak choy, or like I'm doing, some arugula as well. And I said I will talk about what not to plant right now, and as a beginner gardener a few years ago, I did this. Just because it's May, it doesn't mean that you can put your tomatoes out. It doesn't mean you can put your peppers out. And don't start your beans or corn yet outside, because it's just not worth it. All of these need warm soil and warm nights, and that is coming soon, I promise you. I will say with tomatoes, please wait until your last frost date has passed, because a few years ago, I think it was my first year of gardening, I put my tomatoes out, and even my neighbor was like, that's way too early. But I was like, no, I've seen the long-range forecast. Skip ahead a week, I think it dipped down to -3 at night, and there I was running outside in my underwear, trying to cover them with whatever I had, blankets, bottles. was tough. Don't be me. Just wait a little bit. And if you've already got these starts going on indoors, that's great. Just wait a little bit. Now's probably a perfect time to harden them off as well. If you do want to see a video on hardening off, just let me know in the comments. I'm more than willing to show you how I do it. So you want your night temperatures for stuff like tomatoes and peppers to be about 10 degrees. That usually happens here, late May, early June. Sometimes earlier, just keep an eye on the long range forecast. Here in zone 3, we deal with short growing seasons and surprise frosts. One day you're in your plus 20s, the next day it's -5. And it's easy to feel like you're always second guessing yourself. Is it too early? Did I wait too long? Will this even grow here? And this is where people either just give up and buy plants, which is fine as well, or rush and lose half their seeds to frost and rot. But there is a better way, and that's just understanding the rhythm of your garden. So there might be one section of your garden that heats up quicker, and maybe you can plant in that sooner. So here's your plan in zone 3 for May. In early May, you can start squash, cucumbers, and pumpkins indoors. You can also direct sow peas, spinach, radish, and lettuce if your soil is workable. In mid-May, you can do your carrots, your beets, your mustard greens, and pak choi outside. And just keep watering those and thinning down seedlings, and you can pot up your indoor starts as needed. Also in mid-May, you can start hardening off tomatoes and peppers, but just bring them in at night. In late May, keep sowing salad greens every 10 days and prep space for warm crops, but don't plant it yet. Stick to this plan and you're gonna have so much food in June. So yeah, gardening in zone 3 in May doesn't have to be a total mystery. You don't have to guess, you just have to garden smarter. And if something fails, that's normal. Plants die all the time. You're not doing it wrong, you're just learning what works in your space. And that's it for today's video. So thank you for watching, like, comment, and subscribe. And also check out this video that's appearing on your screen right now, because that's the one that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy.